Listen, thanks for joining me, mate. How are you? All good?
No, no. Yeah, all good, mate. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. All good. Listen, we'll get right into it,
Right.
yeah?
Yeah.
Action-packed weekend, loads of goals.
Yeah,
We'll
good
start
weekend
off
of
with,
football.
yeah, exactly. We'll start off with Arsenal-Liverpool, 3-1, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, don't know, I heard in the build-up to it, I heard a lot of people picking Liverpool as their favourites for the game, which
Yeah.
I see to some aspect, but I mean, to write Arsenal off at the Emirates, I don't know. I just thought there was too many people favouring Liverpool. I don't know what you thought before the game, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. I personally think Liverpool might have edged it, but thought it was always going to be a close game. But I thought Liverpool, just in the current form and the way things were going, I thought Liverpool would have edged it. But like you said, it being at the Emirates, a lot of people were writing Arsenal off straight away, where Arsenal always have a chance. They have been a very good side this year. Unless they've had a couple of bad results recently, but the magnitude of the game was always going to get them up for it, and they were always going to play well. But I still thought Liverpool might have edged it, but I was wrong. Arsenal were excellent.
yeah, and I feel like you could tell that. Listen, the Arsenal players knew it was a big game. They obviously spoke about it and had that build up during the week, but you could tell they were giving that extra bit of effort, 100%. They knew it was a big game in terms of their chances of winning the Prem, really, and catching
Yeah,
Liverpool.
exactly that. I think that's bang on the money. They knew how big it was. They knew if they lost that, it would have been hard to win the league, or they would struggle. But winning that game puts them right back up there. So they knew that from the start. I think they gave them the extra motivation, and they looked like they wanted it more. They fought for everything. They just were solid the whole way through, and they were ready to die for those 3 points.
Yeah, they knew the importance of it, 100%. And I mean, if we would have lost it, we would have been 8 points behind Liverpool, and the fact we won, we're 2 points
Yeah,
behind them. So it's really made it very interesting at the top of the table now.
it
Um,
has.
yeah, I just want to have a little chat about Arteta's tactics because when I see that starting lineup, I see Rice and Jorginho together. I see Havertz as labelled as the number nine. I was thinking, oh
Yeah,
no. I
I
was
know.
thinking, oh
I
no.
mean,
I just thought it was going to be, yeah, had like car crash written all over it. But the way
no,
we played the way we played with that box with Rice and Jorginho, and then sort of Havertz and Odegaard as the two forward. It was like 4-4-2, and it was a masterclass really from Arteta.
no, exactly. I thought the same as you. When the team sheet came out, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Jorginho starting, wasn't sure about that. Havertz up top, wasn't sure about that, and I had the same questions. But like I said, it worked out really well. They all played well. Like I thought, Jorginho for his best performance in Arsenal shirt. Thought he was excellent in there, and Havertz done well. And stroke of genius, I'd say. It
Yeah,
worked out really well.
100%. I'd agree with you there as well. Havertz, I mean, Jorginho's best game in an Arsenal shirt, 100% in probably his most important game in an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, definitely.
And Havertz, I mean, he weren't amazing on the ball, but he'd done his job out of possession. And listen, we ended up with the win, 3-1, which I actually did predict before the game, so I've got evidence
Not
of
bad.
that.
Yeah, yeah, I believe
But
it.
uh, with Liverpool, right? I feel like they miss Salah a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky. They miss Salah a lot. Van Dijk didn't have a great game, and I actually think he was slightly at fault for every goal.
Yeah, there was you could question him for each goal, couldn't you? There was little bits of out positioning, this and that didn't go. Obviously, the goal with him and Allison was just a mishap, miscommunication, and it happens at the highest level. Mistakes do happen, but it is unlike them. And for Van Dijk having such a good season, probably wasn't probably a game to forget for him.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't know what my thoughts for that mishap is I think Martinelli's actually done really well because he's give Van Dijk a little nudge before a cheeky one where it's not really that obvious. Van Dijk's then
Yeah,
gone a little bit into Allison, and then Allison's ended up missing the ball. So he's done well.
yeah,
He has done well. He's got
he
lucky,
has.
but he's created his own luck, innit?
Well, you have to. He's just noticed that little nudge, and so someone sees that it might give a free kick, but it's clever striker play, isn't it? But obviously, it's poor from Van Dijk and Allison. But mistakes happen. It's a high pressure game at the highest level. Mistakes are going to happen. It was a costly one, but it happens, and it shows to anyone watching it that mistakes are part of the game. Who cares? Like, don't worry about them. But obviously, for Liverpool, it's not a good one for them. But they'll be fine. Like I said, they're two of the best players in the world in their position, so they'll be fine next week. It happens. They dust it off and they go again.
Yeah, it shows it can happen even at that top level.
Yeah.
Really, Van Dijk, best
Exactly.
centre half in the world. Allison, best goalkeeper pretty much in the world. Just shows it can happen at any level when there's pressure in the game.
Exactly that.
And I feel as well with Van Dijk, a big part of Liverpool's tactics, especially especially against Arsenal, is they love that diag from left centre back sort of over to the right wing where Salah is.
They do.
And with Zinchenko there, it normally causes a lot of problems. But without Salah, we sort of dealt with it, and they looked a bit short of ideas.
Yeah, Liverpool did, didn't it? They do love that diag, and it works. They get a lot of joy from it normally. But yeah, didn't get much joy. Obviously, Salah wasn't playing, so probably part of it. But I thought Arsenal dealt with everything Liverpool had to offer, and Liverpool didn't really offer that much. They struggled, didn't they? There wasn't really like a plan B. Didn't really create many chances, and I think it was overall probably a comfortable enough game for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean they had two shots on target the whole game, 0 going into half time, and the goal they scored was, it was a bit of a mishap with Saliba and Raya, and then it was an own goal, so a bit unlucky overall. Bit of trying to over protect the ball, I think, but exactly. At the end of the day, it wasn't costly, so I don't mind.
No, really exactly that. 3 points is the most important thing, so that's what they got at the end of the day. So who really cares?
And the celebrations after the game, I see the photographer was Odegaard was taking his picture and vice versa, and all the players stayed out, celebrated with the fans a bit more than the usual win. And then you hear Jamie Carragher saying, "Oh, listen, you've got the 3 points. You played well. Just get down the tunnel." And I'm thinking, what are you saying? How can you say just get down the tunnel when they've just won a game against top of the table? Are they not allowed to celebrate?
Exactly that. And like Liverpool would have won that game, and Liverpool celebrating like that, he wouldn't have said anything. Guarantee it.
Oh,
he was just upset that Liverpool lost. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You've got to enjoy these things. That was a hard game for them. A lot of pressure. There's probably a lot of relief going. Whoa. They're going to enjoy it. What that photographer? I think has been there for 20 odd years. I saw, and he's an Arsenal fan. So it was nice to the players involved, a member of staff like that, and celebrate with him. I think it was nice, and the fans pay money to come and watch, pay their wages. Obviously, they're going to want to celebrate with them because it's a good result. They weren't getting carried away. They were just having a nice celebration, clapping fans, celebrating. It was a massive 3 points for them. It's not like they've won anything.
Yeah,
and they know that. But so I don't see the issue why Carragher was like that. He's just really been unprofessional. I think if you're on the TV, you've got to try and be. People know you're a Liverpool man, but you've got to try and not be biased, be fair, and just give Arsenal their props, let them do it, and just get on with it.
Yeah, I agree. And the day you can't celebrate after a win, regardless of where you are in the league, just because it don't necessarily mean you've won the league, you should still be able to celebrate a win. Like
exactly.
Otherwise, no team would ever celebrate other than Man City.
Exactly. What's the point of playing football when they can't celebrate a win?
No, exactly, mate. Listen, right, we'll leave Arsenal, Liverpool. Okay, we'll go on to Chelsea, Wolves. Okay, very, very interesting game. It was 4-2 to Wolves. They got the away win. It's worrying signs for Chelsea, in my opinion. Well, I don't know what you think, Cole, but it's not looking great.
No, I agree. Worrying signs. I didn't expect Wolves to win like that. A Wolves win wouldn't have shocked me, but 4-2 was I was very surprised by that, and can't take anything away from Wolves. They were very, very good, but Chelsea were just poor, just very, very poor, and just they've been like that all season. I just don't know how they're going to get any better.
Yeah, they've got it. To me, it still looks like they've got no real leaders. Obviously, they've got Thiago Silva, but they're still reluctant to give him the captain's armband. So there's obviously something weird going on there. And then other than him, there's not really any real big figures who you look to in times of need on the pitch. Conor Gallagher's still young. The players won't look to him as he hasn't got that proven record of dealing with it. He's still young, so it just seems like a team of individuals, doesn't it? At the moment, that's what I'm looking.
That's exactly what it is. Some very, very, very good players, but don't play as a team. And if you play as an individual, you're not going to be successful. I think they've got too many young players and not enough experience. Like you've got Thiago Silva is the only one, but he's not enough. You need 3 or 4 like him, whether they're starting or not, to be around the club, the changing room, to help people out and set standards. And you let these kids, just it's a different generation now, do what they want, mess around or things like that. Just don't nip things in the bud early doors and let things go. It's just going to set the standard, and that's why they're struggling.
Yeah,
I
you
think.
definitely, like you said, you definitely need that. That's at least the spine of the team. I think you need to have
Yeah,
them big figures in. And like you said, with the youngsters, they're on 200-300 grand a week, and some of them are on 8-year contracts.
yeah,
I mean, it's
exactly.
ridiculous. Yeah, how are you expecting someone to stay fully motivated when you've sorted their life out in one contract? It's ridiculous, really. 8 years.
Exactly that. Exactly that. I don't think anyone, bar one or two extreme dedicated pros who will keep working, I think naturally you're obviously going to work, but I think you are naturally just going to take your foot off the gas because you've
Even
got an 8 year.
subconsciously, in it.
Yeah, you got an 8 year deal on 200 grand a week. You're not. They can't sack you, kind of thing. You're always going to be making that money, so you are just going to go. Well, I'm happy for the next 8 years. I'm making good money. I'm set for life, no matter how well I play or not.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you could still be that top professional, but subconsciously, when it gets really tough and you really have to dig through these hard moments, like it's just that will always be there in the back of your mind. So that's I don't agree with it.
Yeah, same.
Um,
I think that's
yeah,
a big issue for them. Stop giving out these 8 year deals. Give 2, 3, 4 year max.
yeah,
Let
it's
people
ridiculous.
people got to work for new deals. Otherwise, 8 years you don't have to work for anything. You sit there for 8 years. We leave at 28, 29, and then you've made your money. You're coming to the end of your career. You're not really bothered.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly
just
that
too
thing.
easy for them. And like you said, when it gets hard for them and they need to dig, they're not going to because why would they? They're going to be earning that money no matter what.
Yeah, but I mean, on a positive note, with that game, Gary O'Neill,
Yeah,
he's got them playing very well, very energetic and expansive football. Like they're
yeah,
quick on the counter, aren't they? Like he's
very
got them
very
playing
good.
very well, and I'm really happy for him actually because he's. I always think he comes across well in his press conferences. He just seems like a genuine, no ego manager,
Yeah,
a nice
he does.
bloke.
Yeah, he does. And it was harsh what happened at Bournemouth. So I'm happy that he's succeeded and doing well and proving that wasn't a one-off. That he is capable of doing it at this level. And yeah, Wolves are playing very well, very very well. And like I said, they're quick at counter-attacking football as well. They just look dangerous.
Yeah, they do. Cunha and Neto look great, to be fair, and they'll do well to keep hold of them. I think
Yeah, yeah,
come the end of the
definitely.
season.
Definitely, that's the thing for Wolves. Can they keep hold of these players? If they want to progress and build on, they need to keep hold of these kind of players, which would be hard because those two are playing so well. Teams will be sniffing.
That's the thing. How do you keep hold of them? Really, even if they finish
Yeah,
like above where they expected in the table, if a big
yeah,
top 5, 6
yeah,
team come from, they're going to go, really, aren't they?
yeah, exactly. It's true. It is true. So when in that case, Wolves need to do what Brighton do and look for the next one. So
Yeah.
they
Do you
lose
think?
one, they can replace him straight away.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good shout. Do you think Poch is under pressure? Do you think he's? What do you reckon is going to happen there?
I saw something today. Don't know how reliable it was with that. Chelsea actually can't sack him, otherwise they'll breach financial fair play because it will cost over 10 million pounds to sack him and his staff apparently.
Oh my god! What?
Obviously, I don't know how I saw
I
that.
don't
I
even know
saw
the
that.
rules these days. Do you know what I mean? Like, I
No,
don't even know
I
what's
don't.
going on.
Like I saw it on Twitter a couple of times. I don't know how reliable the source is, but that's if they were to do it, they're gonna have to fork out a lot of money, and it's gonna go over the fair play rules or something. So they can't even do it. And I don't think they should sack him because I don't think it doesn't matter who they've got. I think unless they get the structure better and stop signing a million players every window and throwing 8 year contracts around, start
Yeah,
sorting the foundations out and things like that, then they'll be all right. Doesn't matter who the manager is, they're going to struggle if
yeah,
they
mate.
keep
You're
doing it the way they are.
spot on. You just don't. The
Yeah.
managers. It's not going to change anything. Just changing the manager all the time. It really won't.
No.
It's a like you said. You mentioned it a little bit there. Brighton. You need to get the system in place first, and then you
Yeah.
can start building off that. You can't just keep changing the thing at the top.
No, I agree. And so unless they start sorting that out, it's going to be a tough few more years for Chelsea fans, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But we'll go on to Newcastle Luton 4-4
Yeah,
at Newcastle. I mean, it was a great game. Really entertaining
great
game,
game.
wasn't
It was, yeah. And Luton are just flying at the minute. Obviously, 4 against Brighton the other week, 4 again this weekend. They're in full flow. They're looking good. They're looking more confident each game and starting to pick up some really good results as well.
Yeah, that's it. Like you said, 8 goals in 2 games. Rob Edwards, they're all buying into his system loads. You see,
Yeah,
like it's like this FA Cup final every game they play, and they were tipped to go down before the season. Everyone was writing them off, and they started poor to then get through that and keep battling, and then slowly start getting results.
yeah,
that just shows the character of the team.
Exactly that, and Rob Edwards deserves a lot of credit, and the team deserve a lot of credit. They've obviously got a good core of players there, a good foundation that push on and keep the belief, and they're picking up some really good results now. And because they've had some really good performances all season, but they haven't picked up points. Now
I
they
agree.
seem to
Yeah,
put it both together, and now they're playing well, picking points up, and I think they're going to be all right. I think they'll stay up, and I think they deserve
yeah,
it the way they're playing at the minute.
yeah. And Barkley's looking. I mean, we spoke about it before, but Barkley's back to his best. He's looking
Yeah,
great. It'd be good to. It'd be a one to keep definitely if they stay up.
100%,
So
100%.
England shout
He's
maybe.
been. Maybe I don't think they've got so many players in that position. It's a tough one, but I think if he keeps playing the way he does, he's in that conversation. He has to be as even a squad player because his form, goals and assists every weekend now. He's looking like he's back to his best, and he looks really really sharp. Keep him fit, and then I don't see why he's not. He can't go get in the squad for the Euros.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely out to prove a point every week, every game he's playing. That's
Yeah,
what it looks like anyway.
definitely.
On to Newcastle. What do you actually? One thing on Luton, they're actually now. I looked at the odds from the bookies. They're actually now more likely they're favourites to stay up rather than go down after this weekend. So
It's crazy, isn't
good
it?
sign for a minute.
Very good. So I wouldn't have had that from the start, but I think that it's deserved. I think they are doing really well and they look comfortable in the league, and I think they found their rhythm and what works for them, and they're being really successful. And I hope they stay up. They deserve it.
Yeah, I hope they do. They're on the good path at the moment. But yeah, like I said, so back to Newcastle. They're conceding a lot of goals at home, and I mean four at home. I don't think many teams will put four past them, if
No,
any, in the league. So well done to Luton. But why do you think they are having this little dip in form and conceding a few more goals? Like,
I think
I mean, I can go on.
so I was just gonna say they've obviously got injuries. They've had some key players injuries injured on different positions. Obviously, I think Nick Pope's a massive miss for them.
Yeah,
I think his presence alone is a miss, and he made some big saves at times. And I think they miss him massively. I'd say.
yeah. I feel like they took a risk in obviously when he got injured, Dubravka come in. They
Yeah,
had a few good performances,
he
and
did.
then they
He had
took a
some good
risk in
ones.
not signing anyone in the January transfer window, and then now they're paying the price for that. I think because he's not. For me, it's just the rest of the team need to feel confident with the keeper and goal, and they don't feel.
Yeah,
It looks like they're not as confident as when Pope's in the net. Can
I
have a big
totally
effect on
agree.
a team. That
Totally agree. I totally agree. A little bit, even like self-consciously thinking, don't trust Dubravka, this, that, and the other. And it just filters through. And I think Pope's a massive miss for them. It's just his presence alone, and he filled everyone with confidence. And they're leaking some goals in there. I don't think maybe they would if Pope was playing, and it's a struggle. But like I said, they should have signed someone in January, even temporary, even whether it's Ramsdale on loan or someone like that to the end of the season, just to cover them to make
yeah,
sure they're all right because they are struggling. But like I said, they are missing other key players as well. And I think Champions League football was a struggle for them to start the season. I think they're just a bit up and down, aren't they? They beat Villa the other week, didn't they? Which was a great win for them, and they look like they're maybe getting back, and then it's just draw. So they're just a bit up and down at the minute.
yeah. I think there's a lot of teams like that that are having good performances one week, bad the next, which just shows the level of the Prem really. Um,
Exactly, it
and
does.
and you mentioned about signing. I feel like they've tried, maybe not with the keeper, but they've tried to make a few signings because of their injuries. But it's all this financial fair play shit in it that they're just not allowed
Yeah,
to. They couldn't get
that's true.
Phillips in, so I don't think. I don't know. It's definitely a tough
Yeah,
situation.
that's a good point. Actually, I didn't think that I did see they had to maybe get rid of a couple players to bring players in,
Yeah,
didn't
because
they?
people are
So
shouting for Eddie Howe out, but you can't have him out if he
no,
can't sign anyone.
I don't think so. I still, he's done a good enough job there. He deserves more time to turn it around. I think he will turn it around. Like you said, if you can't sign players and he's getting injuries, anyone would struggle with that. Doesn't matter who the manager is.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's done well overall in his time there, and
I
everyone
agree.
knows he's a good manager. They know his level. So just give him once he can sign players, then judge him.
Yeah, exactly. Give him another window or two. I think they'll be all right
Yeah.
in the long
Um,
run.
We'll go on to Brighton Palace. Okay, so it was at Brighton, big rivalries, 4-1
Yeah,
battering. Really,
it was. Yeah,
um, it's again similar to Chelsea. It's worrying times for to be a Palace fan. They're getting on to the manager. They're getting on to the chairman.
Yeah,
I don't know. Olise come on for 10 minutes and got injured again.
yeah.
I don't know. It's all going bad, isn't it, for Palace?
Everything seems to be going wrong, doesn't it? There at Palace, which is a shame because the fans are good fans. It's a good club, and I just think having Roy Hodgson in from the start of the season was just the wrong way to go. I think they had to. Obviously, they had Vieira in, and it looked like they were trying to change their philosophy and build in the right way. They had a really good first season with him. Didn't work out so much. Second time round, they sacked him, brought Roy in. Roy kept them up. At the end of the season, done the job. Then he
Done
should
really well.
they should have left him there.
I agree.
And then
Yeah,
they should have looked at a Potter or I don't know a younger manager, or not even a younger manager, just a manager that's going to take the club forward in the next modern way, the way Brighton have, the way all these other clubs do. Instead of going backwards, go forward. Palace have gone like 10 steps backwards. It feels like, and I understand the frustration of the fans.
yeah. Like you said, he's come in at the end, sort of saved the day.
Yeah,
And then that was the perfect part in time. I think now you've sort of brought him in and delayed the inevitable, like almost rebuild that needs
yeah.
to happen in terms of the managers and the staff and all that. So I mean, he's a legend, and he's for like himself as well. Like I feel like he needs a rest. He needs to have a little rest now.
100%. I think he finished. Obviously, he was at Watford. So Palace sacked him. Or he left Palace when he left them the first time. They brought Vieira in. He went to Watford to try and keep them up. Didn't keep them up. Left. Came to Palace. Kept them up. Finished actually very strong. Should have left then. Head held high. Finished on a high. His career. What a career he's had. And sail off in
Yeah,
the sunset. I don't know why he came back. And it's
yeah,
just they've just struggled. They've been very inconsistent. They've relied. If they didn't have Eze or Elise early in the season, they'd be in that relegation zone. I think because they've come up with some big goals for them. So I just don't know. They've just done it wrong. They just need to get rid of him and bring someone in. Bring a Graham Potter, Steve Cooper, someone for the future who's going to be there. Give him time to turn it around and put his ideas on and just take them forward.
yeah. If I feel like Graham Potter would be the perfect manager to come in if he's up for it.
Exactly that.
Just with
I
just with the
totally
young
agree.
players he's got and the system he sort of half brought in and moulded at Brighton. I don't know how big a part he had to play in that, but he was definitely a part in it. So
I totally agree.
that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? That would be ideal.
It would be. I think that's what the fans want, but I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how much money they've got there, because they've not really signed many players. Don't really know what's going on behind the scenes there. But it's
Yeah,
not. It's very very toxic at the minute with the relationship between the club and the fans.
yeah. And I just want to touch on. We spoke about a little bit about Olise. I mean,
Yeah,
he obviously played the other week and scored that worldie. But there was reports he had a hamstring niggle going into this week.
yeah,
So he obviously started on the bench, but he come on at half time. Now I don't know if it's a case of where all the staff during that week they know the pressure that Roy's under, they know the pressure the club's under, and they need to start getting results, and they know how important Elise is. Are they trying
yeah,
to not force him back, but just trying to cover up how injured he actually is, and maybe not relaying the full truth to I don't know maybe Roy because they feel like they don't want to say, oh Roy, listen, he's injured again. You can't play him for 45 minutes. You can only play him 10. Do you know what I mean? When he needs him on the
yeah,
pitch. So it's a
yeah.
tough one.
It is. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs, and it is a difficult one for
No.
all these medical staff to make a decision because they can't go. Oh, well, you can't play him, or you can't pick him, or because he's the manager. He'll pick who he wants to pick. They can recommend things, but like you said, because of how the situation, maybe they've said, maybe he's gone. Look, lad, maybe at least he's gone. Please let me play. Look, the team need me. I'll be okay. I am okay, and they've gone. Okay, you can do 45 or you can do 30, and it backfired, but.
Yeah.
I just think the game that he's not 100%. You're 3-0 down at half time. You don't bring him on. Give it to 60 at least. Give it to 60. See if you get a goal or two back, and then you can finish in the last 30. Get something out of it. But I think bringing him on at half time, it obviously didn't work out. But I just didn't think it was needed. You've got the game. In my opinion, the game is over. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to come back from it. You might get a goal or two. You're not going to come back.
Yeah, they knew they were running the risk, didn't they?
Yeah,
Bringing him on.
just let him stay on the bench and bring the other couple of youngsters on who are good, got a bit of flair and attack about them. Give them an opportunity because it's a long season. You don't need to risk it now. At least he's going to be out for like 2-3 months. It's what I've heard.
Is that it?
Basically, yeah. Apparently, so it's apparently 2-3 months is what I saw this morning on our Twitter and stuff. That's what people are saying. So it could, if that is the case, that's a lot of games you'd be missing. That'd be basically the season, back end of the season gone.
Yeah, mate. It's
All
a
over,
frustrating one.
bring them on at half time when you're 3-0 down. If it was 1-0 or 2-0, it's a different story. 1 goal, you're back in it, but 3-1, even if you get a goal, you're still not back in the game. You're still got 2 goals behind. So I just didn't think it was needed. And
Yeah, it just seemed a little early for me if you knew he was going in with that problem. But listen, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
No, of course
It's
we
just,
don't.
yeah.
And if Elise would have stayed on the pitch, scored a hat trick, everyone would have gone, what a decision that was.
Yeah, exactly that.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly
So it's difficult, but from what I know, I just don't think it was worth it. I think you get 60 minutes, and if you're in the game, there's a chance, bring him on. But if you're not, then you just leave him on the bench.
Yeah, I agree, mate. It's a tricky situation at that club at the moment.
It is, yeah.
And Brighton have not been they've been hit and miss as well, really, with their performances. So it probably makes the defeat even worse that they're not fully firing.
I would agree. Brighton haven't been as good as they were last year, I don't think. They've obviously had some really good results, but they've had some really poor results as well. They've struggled with clean sheets, and they've just been, like you said, been a bit inconsistent, but they looked very, very good against Palace and looked comfortable the whole game. And it would definitely give them a bit of momentum going into the next few games.
Yeah, 100%. Right, we'll go to Man United West Ham, okay? So it was a 3-0 win to United at home.
Yeah.
That's probably I wouldn't say West Ham probably deserved a bit more from the game than that. They were definitely more solid and comfortable in possession. They won the middle of the pitch, the battle in the middle of the pitch, I feel.
Yeah.
But they lacked that real quality and ruthlessness in the final third. They were a bit wasteful with their chances. Whereas United sat in very well, countered with pace and had the quality. Their front three were very, very efficient and effective with their chances, weren't they?
They were, exactly. I thought West Ham played all right overall. I wouldn't say it was necessarily a 3-0 game. I think it was United were just clinical, took all their chances very well, and they were solid at the back, which makes a nice change. Like I said, West Ham had some good spells in the ball, but just didn't really do much with it. They just didn't have to create anything and didn't really threaten United that much. But for United, I think it's a great win. Obviously, they had a good result in midweek against Wolves coming back, but it was nice for them to keep a clean sheet, keep it tight at the back, and win 3-0. Bit of confidence for him.
And Højlund looked very good. He got his first goal finally, and then he just can't stop scoring since. All the youngsters really are getting the headlines for Man United, which I think is good signs for United, and it's probably taken a bit of the spotlight off Rashford, which can only do him the world of good and the club.
Exactly that. I think there is a lot. Obviously, what he done midweek was stupid, but there is also a lot of pressure on Rashford anyway, regardless of how United do. So I think it's good for the club that these youngsters have stepped up and doing really well, and like I said, it takes a bit of pressure off Rashford and gets him out of the spotlight for a while, so he can just focus on himself.
Yeah, and they're what? Højlund's 21, I think Mainu's 18, and Garnacho is, how old is he? Like 19?
I think 19, 20, I think. So they're going to be there for a very long time. It's very good for the future of Man United if those three keep doing what they're doing. They're only going to improve as well.
Yeah, if they keep going on their path they've got them for the next 10 years, that's very good signs for United. They
very good.
They need to keep them at it. Speaking on Rashford a little bit, so obviously, listen, he scored in the week just gone. So he answered, but in some ways he answered his critics, but it's still not right. I still question where his mental state is at the moment, just because he went out on the Thursday, spotted. He knows he's one of the most recognisable faces in England probably at the moment, and he knows if he goes out he'll get spotted, which is fair enough. Go out and enjoy yourself, but you cannot do that and then turn up sick to training the next morning. You can't do that. You got to either have the day off after, or you just turn up to training and do your work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think obviously footballers are normal people. They need to have a life away from football. They want to go out and have a few drinks. Go out and have a few drinks. I just think you just got to time and place. I think you play on a Saturday, you're off Sunday, train Monday, Saturday night, go out, do what you want, no problem, because you can recover Sunday, and then you're fresh to go back to work on Monday. I think that's fine. I think it's time and a place. Just don't do it if you've got training the next day, and then call in sick, because that's just stupid. And then if you are going to do it, just turn up on training. and then
Yeah,
deal
of
with the
course.
consequences then. But just take it like you went out, yeah, I went out, but I'm here, I work, and then then the running team or the team can just punish him, make him do extra runs, make him feel like crap and things like that.
Yeah,
But at least he turned up. But if you don't, what he done was you just can't do that. You can't go out and then call in sick. And then if you're an academy player, so you can do that because no
there's
one's
no
going to
spotlight
recognise
on you.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can get away with it. But him, like the Marcus Rashford, even anywhere in the world, people are going to know who he is. One person, no matter where he is in the world, one person will know him.
but
And
that's what
then,
makes me question his mental. Like, where if he's 100%, if there's, I don't know if he's got some problems behind the scene because he knows he's not stupid. He knows he's going to get spotted. He knows all this is going to come. So he must just feel like he needs to do it still. So I don't
yeah,
know. It's a tricky one to find out what's going
yeah,
on.
there might be something, like I said, there, something behind the scenes going on. He could be struggling with something, or he could be hanging out with some bad people. You just don't know. But it's
Yeah,
just a silly thing to do. I think there was no need for it. You could have waited a couple of days and gone out
yeah,
when
cool,
you
exactly. Yeah,
had a day off after a game or something. There was no need for it. But I don't know. But yeah, just
the
all
goal
I'd say
definitely
is just
helped in his first game back after that. The goal
oh yeah,
obviously helped to shut everyone up, didn't it? I bet he was
yeah.
buzzing with that.
Yeah, he needed five. I think it was like 5-6 minutes into the game as well. So he
Yeah,
must have been
straight
delighted with
away.
that. Yeah, just to calm it down a little bit. But I would just say just time and a place is all.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Right, I just wanted to we'll have a little chat on the Sheffield United game and Aston Villa. Obviously, Villa won 5-0, but specifically Ollie Watkins. Right,
Yeah,
he's been on fire this year. He got a goal and 2 assists on the weekend. He's just been an absolute joke, to be honest. And I don't know. I
yeah.
just wanted to ask: do you think? Because for me, do you think he gets into every Premier League team? Because I think
I
he could
think
do.
so. I think so. Bar City, only for City at
Varsity.
Haaland. But I'm sure he could figure it out at City and find a way. Pep would find a way to fit him into his way of playing. But I think everyone else he starts straight away at this moment in time. I think he's on form. It's been phenomenal this year. It's been really well, it's probably his best season, and I think he'll be in for a big move and come the summer.
Do you reckon? Yeah, it's interesting to think that will he move or not because it depends how Villa sort of probably recruit, what their plans are, and also where they finish. If they get Champions League,
Yeah,
he'll stay 100%.
true. That is true. But then if Arsenal come calling, Liverpool come calling, United come
Mm,
calling again, and then it's hard to say no. Then isn't it? But again, if Villa finish World Champions League, he might go. Well, I'll give it one more year at Villa. I think he's only just signed like a 5-year, 4-year deal
yeah,
recently. So I think it could come down to them, but I think it's hard to say no to those teams, or even if like a Real Madrid or something like that come in for you. It's hard to say no
yeah,
to that, isn't it?
yeah. It's good signs for him, and all of a sudden England have now got Kane, Watkins, and Tony, like
Uh,
three big hitters. So we've
it
got
is,
options
but
up there. Obviously,
they
Kane's
do.
the man.
Except what I was just going to say, but you got to feel for those two because if they're
Yeah,
from any other nation, they'd be the star man. But Harry Kane is the man. He's the captain, and he's going to play every single time because Southgate doesn't really play with two strikers, does he? So
no.
they're going to have to play unless Kane gets injured, second fiddle, which is a shame for how well they've done this year. But
Who is
Harry
second
Kane's,
fiddle? Who is the man if Kane's not there? He's got a
I think it's Watkins just because he's played all season. I think Tony obviously with the bat. I think he goes third on that list, but I think
yeah,
Watkins this year goes second. But on their day, I think Tony might be the better player. But
yeah.
I just think because obviously he's had the ban and he's only coming back. I think Watkins has had all season. He's done it all season. I think Watkins is more in favour than Tony is right now. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
agree with all
Southgate
that
will
actually.
does Southgate pick Ivan Tony because of the
I
betting
don't think
thing.
he will. You know.
You know what he's like. He makes weird decisions like that. I don't think it's an issue. I think he's done his time. It's not like he's
Yeah,
done a Mason Greenwood or done something really like something
crazy.
horrendous
Yeah,
like that. He's just put a few bets on, got caught out, and done an 8-month ban. And as long as he's playing well, I don't see why he shouldn't be in the squad because it's not
yeah.
doing a few bets isn't that deep. It's not like he was match fixing or anything like that. He was just putting a few bets on, losing a few quid.
With Ollie Watkins, how old is he? Because I know Tony's not young, is he? But yeah, Watkins is probably the youngest out of
I
the three, isn't he?
I don't know how old Watkins is. Maybe
I'm just
26,
thinking when Kane
25,
retires,
26.
he'll probably be the man to go to step in, won't he? Because Tony probably won't be. Like I'm thinking,
Yeah,
Tony Kane are similar ages, aren't they? So I
yeah,
think.
that's true. But then you've got Solanke up there as well. He's had a good
Oh
season. He'll
mate,
be
yeah, wow,
in for a shout. So there's plenty of
interesting.
choices.
Yeah,
Make sure it's
it's a good problem to have, I suppose.
yeah,
Listen, I will finish with. I just want to talk on the who our updated top four predictions. Yeah.
yeah.
So first of all, who do you think's winning the Prem this year?
I think I'm going to go with City. I've said City since day one. I think City would do it. I think they just find a way to when they need to win, when they need to put a run together, they do it. They've proven it last year and the last few years. I think it's going to be the closest it's been in a very, very long time.
I agree.
But I think City will just edge it just because they've been there and done it.
Yeah, and they've got De Bruyne back now as well. He's just an absolute joke. Every time I watch him, I just think he seems like he gets better.
He does, doesn't he? He's been doing it for 6-7 years now, and he's a joy to watch, and he's got to be up there with the best midfield in the Premier League history, or probably the best.
I think he blows that Lampard, Gerrard, and Scholes conversation out of the water. I feel like he's better than all of them, and he's still playing. Yeah. So when he retires, he's going to get even more praise on him.
100%.
He could even be the best player the Premier League's ever had. I think he's up there.
He's definitely up there in that conversation, and 100%. He's just unbelievable, and he's come back fine as well. Goals and assists when Man City needed him, and yeah, I just don't see them losing it.
Yeah, I think I see something today. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's something along the lines of he's still got the most goal contributions in the last couple seasons, even with all the time he's missed.
Ridiculous.
So, yeah, it's ridiculous, mate. With City having him back fully fit, firing again, yeah, I'd agree. City first. I'll go City first. I'm going to go Arsenal second, with Liverpool third.
Yeah, mine's the other way around.
The other way.
I think Liverpool get it. I think so far, I think Liverpool have been more consistent and played slightly better. So I think they will edge it, but it is going to be very, very close.
Yeah, I feel like with Liverpool as well. People were saying the timing of Klopp's announcement of him saying he's leaving was bad, but I actually feel like it's perfect. It's almost like to give him that extra spur of energy, the bit more fight to say, right, it's his last season. Let's see him off with absolutely everything we've got. I feel like he'd spur the fans on as well.
I totally agree. I think it'll give them that extra grit or whatever they need to get over the line, to win a game, grind the result out, whatever they need. I think they'll do it for him. So I think it has come at a good time.
Yeah, it's come at a good time. I'm still going Arsenal second though. I feel like I feel like we're in a good place.
Like I said, it's going to be very, very
good
close.
Win. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they needed. So it'll be very interesting to see how it finishes.
Fourth, what are you saying?
I think Spurs have enough to do it. I think it'll be close. Obviously, if Villa keep doing what they're doing, they're going to be in that conversation. But I just think Villa might slip off a bit more than Spurs.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they can. I'd go Spurs. I feel like both of them can batter teams. They'll both get these big wins and look really, really good. But I can see Villa dropping more points on. I feel like they'll be less solid and consistent throughout the rest of the season. So I'll go Spurs.
Yeah, same. I agree with that.
Yeah, nice. Listen, we've had a good chat there. I think we'll leave it for now.
Yeah,
and we'll catch up again in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good, mate.
Nice one. Listen, I appreciate it. Appreciate it again, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, guys, thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, could you please follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel? It massively helps us out.